What's up YouTube? So it's been a few weeks since I've been able to get out here and do any work on a van, and it's because the evenings are drawing in now. It's getting dark a lot earlier, and when you finish work there's just no light, so it's now restricting my time to work on a van to the weekends. And obviously with a family on the way, it's yeah, you got to be a bit conscious of when you can and can't get out here to do work. So I managed to blag myself a couple of hours this morning, and I'm really excited because I'm fitting my leisure battery. So here behind me, the battery's turned up. So we'll have a look at that, and we'll have a look at a couple of the bits that I've bought that are going to help power the battery in the back of the van, which is then going to in turn power things like the fridge, the lighting, you know, a few other things as well. So so here we go. I'll show you what I've bought, and then we'll get into it, start fitting it, start crimping some cables, and go from there. Here we are. So this is the battery. Now this is an Exide marine and leisure battery. All right, it is a 95 amp hour battery, and it's a dual AGM. Now when you're looking into buying different types of leisure batteries, it's a bit of a minefield, to be honest. There's loads of different types of battery that you can buy. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail because, if I'm honest, I don't know all the information and I don't want to give out wrong information, but I decided to go with this, and yeah, fingers crossed that's going to be more than ample power for my mini micro maxi Caddy conversion. Now in this box, when I ordered that, it came with some wiring kits as well. All right, so I've got all the wiring in there, which I'm going to have to start putting together in a minute. And then this is a DC DC battery charger. This one is the VICTRON non-isolated smart charger. Now this is actually, as you can see there, Bluetooth. So I download an app, put it onto my phone, and then I can change certain settings on this to make sure that the battery is being charged efficiently, and everything else. Now this is a little bit more of an expensive solution to powering or charging a battery, a leisure battery, in your van. There is another solution which is called a VSR, which is a voltage sensitive relay solution, and it's about 80 quid for that kit. This one's not 80 quid, this one's a little bit more expensive, but after doing a bit more research and everything else, this is the one I decided to go with. It's going to be a little bit better for the battery, and it's a much more regulated way of charging. So that's what I've gone for, and now I've got to fit it. The location for the battery I'm going to put behind the driver's seat. So if I come down here, a bit mucky in there, but there is a big cavity just in there for the battery to sit in, and I'm going to build some containment box with some straps so that it can sit down there, and then ultimately all the wires can feed up behind the seat into the back of the unit that will end up being here, and then power the devices that I'm going to have. So there we go. I'm going to start unboxing everything. I'm going to start running these cables. So I managed to rod the main power cable down through the inside edge of the van out to the main start battery. It's coming out through here at the moment. It's just coming out through this little crease here. Now, fingers crossed, what I'm going to do is bring it down through here and come in through the door. There we go, through either this or this little grommet here. That'll bring me then into the van. I can run it along the sill, around the back, and into where the battery's going to be. That's the plan. Let's see how we go. Okay, so next part is I've run the cable in. I've got it to here. that is ultimately going to go into the in part of that. And now I need a link on the battery end with this fuse bar. So I'll come around to here. I've got my cable with its connection here ready to be heat shrinked, and then I have my fuse there. Just made a link to go from here to here, and then that one connects onto the other side. Alright, so now I'm going to go and heat shrink the ends of these. Got my crimpers. I've just stripped one half, poked the terminal on. Hiya. Hiya. That's nice and crimped on there. Get heat shrink. Measure that off. Goes on like that. Side. So roughly, here we are. Power from the battery on the van coming down along here, and it will eventually, it's not yet, it's just tucked in underneath, but it will eventually go into the in. Negative, or earth or ground, go into a ground point on the seat there. Positive coming out of the charger, going to the fuse onto the positive terminal on the battery, and then finally a negative line or a ground line from the negative part of the battery back to the battery. So that is how we're going to charge it all. The only other thing we need to do is put in. There we go. So this is where we're at right now. Everything's wired up, everything's connected. The only thing that's not connected is the battery, but the battery will go onto this. It's all earthed onto the chassis of the van. The battery is down there, and that positive cable will eventually go onto that positive terminal down there. But what I've got to do first is set up the leisure battery, and I've got to do that on the app. So that's the next thing. But other than that, then I'll mount this onto my unit properly, and we're good to go with power. Happy days. So here we have the app that I've downloaded now onto my phone, and as you can see, there was my product. Once it's loaded up, you're met with this screen. Now the top voltage that's currently at 12.3, 12.4 is my main starter battery. And as you can see, as soon as I've turned the engine on, you can see the voltage rising to 14.2, 14.1. And that's the amount of power that is coming out of the alternator. As soon as I've hit a certain voltage, the charger kicks in and starts charging the battery underneath, which is the leisure battery. Now, when I turn the engine off, you'll notice that the top voltage starts to go down, and eventually what you'll see is the
bottom voltage stop, and that's because once the alternator stops producing a power of 12.5 volts, it will automatically switch off the charger, enabling the leisure battery to stay charged but not still be charged.
Well, that's it for this episode. The battery is in. I just got to secure it properly, but it's all in and working and ready to go with a few other appliances that I'm going to start putting in the van in the next few videos. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you like it, comment on it if you don't like it, comment on it if you like it. Thanks very much for coming along on this journey, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.